Rosa King was doing what she loved. Calm, observant, and fiercely committed, Rosa was a 33-year-old zookeeper working at Hamerton Zoo Park in Cambridgeshire, England. She wasn't driven by recognition or reward. Her life revolved around care for the animals, for the staff, for the sanctuary she helped maintain. She found beauty in the everyday rhythm of the zoo, in the early mornings, in the quiet check-ins, in the bond that could be built, slowly, through trust. For Rosa, that bond existed most powerfully with the big cats. Tigers weren't just ferocious creatures or photo ops. They were intelligent, emotional beings with routines, moods, needs. Rosa believed that with enough time and consistency, mutual respect could grow even with the wildest animals. It was that belief that guided her work, and ultimately, it was that belief that cost her life. Hamerton Zoo was small, family-run, and widely regarded as a safe, well-kept facility. Known for its rare and exotic species, the zoo had grown in popularity, drawing visitors from across the UK. But like any facility housing dangerous animals, it relied on structure, gates, barriers, checks, protocols. When everything worked, the system was invisible, but when something failed, the result was catastrophic. Rosa had worked with the zoo's Malayan tigers for years. One, in particular, a male named Sip, had been in the facility since 2014. He was powerful, moody, and unpredictable, like many apex predators held in captivity. But Rosa understood him. She knew his habits, his behaviors, his tells, and, by all accounts, she respected the risk. She wasn't careless, she wasn't showboating. She was experienced, she followed protocols, she carried out her duties with precision, never cutting corners. She was admired by colleagues and beloved by visitors who saw how deeply she cared for each animal. On May 29, 2017, something went wrong. It was a quiet bank holiday Monday. The park had opened as usual. Families with young children moved between enclosures. Staff handled their morning routines. Rosa was inside the tiger enclosure, not in the public viewing area, but in a secure section reserved for cleaning and feeding. This was supposed to be a protected space, separated, safe, a space where humans and predators would never meet face to face. But that morning, a breach occurred. Somehow, CIPF entered the enclosure where Rosa was working. Whether it was due to human error, gate malfunction, or procedural miscommunication was never publicly confirmed, but the result was immediate and irreversible. Rosa had no time to escape, no chance to defend herself. CP attacked. The force of the tiger's assault was fatal almost instantly. Witnesses described hearing a scream, then chaos. The zoo was evacuated, emergency services arrived, but Rosa was already gone. She died in the very space she knew better than anyone else, the place she felt most confident, most capable, most calm, and the place where she had spent years ensuring the safety of others, both animal and human. News of the attack spread quickly across the UK, but the coverage was brief, lacking detail. Out of respect for Rosa's family, the zoo released minimal information. Official investigations were quiet. The incident was labeled a freak accident, a tragic one-off. There was little follow-up, no broad public outcry. It became a line in the news cycle, and then it disappeared. But those who knew Rosa and those who understood the industry knew it was more complicated than that. Captivity comes with risk. It comes with pressure. It comes with systems designed to prevent the worst-case scenario. Until the day they don't. Rosa's death wasn't the result of recklessness. It was the consequence of a system that depends on perfect procedures to keep imperfect situations under control. Even in well-managed facilities, one misstep, a latch not fully closed, a signal not heard, a procedure misread can mean the difference between life and death. No zookeeper walks into a carnivore enclosure unaware of the risks. They walk in despite them. They do it because of passion, because of duty, because of belief. Rosa King believed in her work. She believed in her animals. She believed that her presence made their lives better. And she was right. Her efforts brought enrichment, consistency, and care to animals who would never again know the wild. She fought not just for their survival, but for their quality of life. But belief alone can't prevent tragedy. Protocols are built to protect, but they are vulnerable to the fallibility of human systems. No system is immune, no fence is flawless, no plan is perfect. Rosa understood this, and she chose to work anyway, because she believed it mattered. In the aftermath, Hamerton Zoo was closed temporarily. Investigations were conducted by the police and the health and safety executive, but details were sparse. No criminal charges were filed. The tiger was not put down. Zoo officials said that Rosa would not have wanted that, and they were likely right. She never blamed the animals. She accepted their nature. She worked with it, never against it. Colleagues held a private memorial inside the zoo, leaving flowers, notes, and pictures at the tiger enclosure. Guests posted hundreds of tributes online. Many spoke of Rosa's smile, her dedication, her kindness, of the way she knelt to speak to children visiting the zoo, of the time she spent making enrichment toys for the tigers from cardboard boxes and scent trails. Her impact was quiet, but it ran deep. Today we remember Rosa King not only for her tragic death, but for her passionate life. She was a professional, a daughter, a friend, a protector of wildlife. She gave everything to the animals in her care, including her life. Hers was a life of purpose, built around humility, discipline, and compassion. Her story is not just about loss, it's about reverence for the humans who walk beside danger every day, for the animals that remind us of the wildness we can never truly tame, and for the importance of transparency, reform, and honesty in how we talk about animal captivity. Her death should prompt questions. How do we protect those who dedicate their lives to animals? How do we ensure that safety procedures are not just written, but followed and reviewed? And how do we honor those who are lost in the service of something greater? If Rosa's story moved you, take a moment to share your thoughts. Remember her name, remember her devotion, and if you've ever visited a zoo or watched a keeper enter an enclosure with a predator, ask yourself, can a system that depends on human perfection ever truly be safe? Is enough being done to prevent these tragedies before they happen? And what is the real cost of keeping wildness behind a fence? Comment below, share her name, keep the conversation going. Let Rosa King be more than a headline. Let her legacy live on, not in silence, but in change.